My name's Aaron Calvert. I'm a hypnotist.
From convincing frequent flyers that they have never flown before, to making people forget their own names, Aaron Calvert can do it all. After rising to fame through his Channel 4 show, Hello Stranger, Aaron's humble beginnings could have led him down a very different path.
So, what was life like before you became a hypnotist?
So we're going back a few years, and I started to experiment with hypnosis when I was about 15, so it's quite a while ago, but also I was still in school, so I have no idea kind of what it was like. I wasn't living like an adult life, but at the time when I sort of started experimenting with it, I never thought about it as a career option, and that was a big thing. So I found a different career, which was going to be my life's work, and I went to study medicine and trained as a doctor, because that's, if you were clever and you liked people and science, that's what you did at my school. And I went to Nottingham University to study medicine, and then whilst I was there, I started to perform shows publicly and kind of took off from there. So it's always been there, and but it was just never something I thought of as a career option.
So, when and why did you decide to become a hypnotist full time?
So there was, I got interested when I was about 15. I saw a hypnotist on stage, and it was that classic kind of comedy hypnosis, that, the stuff that makes you cringe, and you kind of, as soon as you say hypnotist, people have these connotations of swinging pocket watches, and they think about people being made to look like chickens, or dance with mops, all of these things that for me are kind of embarrassing. They're kind of awkward, and I saw it, and yes, it was very funny, the audience found it funny, but I couldn't help but feel that people leaving the stage somehow felt a bit deflated and sort of cheated and probably embarrassed, particularly because of the end routine where they were made to have orgasms whenever anyone shook their hands. It was kind of embarrassing. It was that level of humour, but the sort of skill behind it I found fascinating, and so I thought about there's got to be more to it than that. There's got to be more you could do with it, and so I started to want to push it in a different direction. So I started to experiment with sort of the element of suggestion before I even got to hypnosis and sort of people's behaviours, and then I kind of gradually moved into full-blown hypnosis to try and see what I could do and push the boundaries of what people will believe and how you can alter their realities. And that started me on a little path that's kind of led me to where I am now.
Do you feel as though, having that career in medicine kind of you learnt the behaviour of people a bit more?
Yeah, so I started in the summer before med school doing shows, and then I went to med school, and what it did was supplement kind of my understanding of people and behaviours and my interaction with people therein, and also the psychology behind it as well. And as whilst I was at med school, I did clinical hypnotherapy as part of my degree, and that kind of supplemented things from a different side of things. Often you get stage hypnotists and clinical hypnotherapists that are very different. They have different schools of thought and different approaches to hypnosis. Often they clash a lot, and I try to combine both of their approaches to create an approach that works I'd hope more often than other hypnotists maybe, but also allows me to pull off these big feats like, erasing 5 years of someone's relationship history.
What would you say has been your biggest accomplishment in terms of hypnotism? Have you done anything out of this world, like your advert with Thomas Cook?
Yeah, so I think most recently definitely that. It was incredible. So I took 5 people. There were 5 frequent flyers that are on planes every month or every couple of months, and I made them believe that they'd never been on a plane before. And that was amazing, because you've got these 5 people who know what a plane is, they know what an airport is, and yet they were just making things up as they kind of went along, because they had no idea that it wasn't their first time. So we went through the security gates, and they were concerned about security, and they were so scared and worried, like you would be going through on your first time. And the first time they saw a plane, it was this moment of, oh my God, how does that get off the ground? And so that was probably my biggest project to date. And you're up in the air at 35,000 feet, and you're hypnotising people. It literally taking it to new heights.
Well, thank you very much.
No, you're very welcome. In fact, I tell you what, thanks for having me. Great, take a look at your hand for me. As you look at your hand now, watch as it comes towards your face. As it comes towards your face now, notice how your eyes can close and just slip and sink and drift and float and really begin to relax down just as you have before. In a moment when you wake up, you're going to find that this left hand right here is glued, stuck, locked to that table. In fact, you can imagine that weight beginning to press down onto that hand now, so much so that you can imagine the super glue seeping between the palms and the fingers of your hands really gluing, sticking, bonding, binding, fusing, welding, locking that hand tighter and tighter to that surface now. Let's get tighter and tighter, that's it. And as it does, so tight now that you will not be able to lift it. In a moment when you open your eyes, you'll see that hand completely locked to that table. 1, 2, 3, eyes open wide awake. When we take a look at that hand now, and as you try and move it, you'll find it glued, stuck, locked to that table. The more you try and move it, the more it just sticks. And that is how you directly suggest something to them. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I'll see you soon.
Oh